And today I'm just going to do my usual prep.
So apparently, Doom Eternal got a, I don't know if it was DLC or like a sequel, but it shows us the Slayer's life before becoming, the Doom
Wait,
Slayer.
that real?
Yeah. We also see how he gets the Praetor, Pra- he-
Traitor.
Praetor suit from from 2016. Turns out a demon made it for him. Also,
Gotta love how annoying ad breaks you be. Anyways, you were saying?
also, Soft confirmed that his name is Flynn McTaggart.
Okay, neat.
Because in one of the flashbacks of when he was still, you know, not Doom Guy, um, he,
Change of the last name does not mean he's not descended from the Blaskovich family, so I'm still keeping that headcanon.
uh, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Right. During a flashback, he someone had called out to him and said, "Taggart, move!"
Yeah, that tracks. Okay, you want to know something real neat about how the Real Grade 2.0 Gundam?
What?
Like, they put in some crazy detail for the internal mechanisms of the machine. You can see the batteries inside of the beam rifle. They're molded into the part with the handle and trigger, but the fact that they're there is impressive. For those who might not be aware, the original RX-78-2 Gundam, and by extension the Gundam ground type, the GIMs, the basically everything the Earth Federation fielded that used beam weaponry at the time, they had rechargeable batteries inside of those beam weapons that would have to be docked inside of their mothership or base of operations and recharged after use.
Mm-hmm.
Amuro had a nasty habit of tossing the beam rifle whenever he ran out of shots.
Ah.
Which means they either had to send him to go pick the thing up after the battle, or just give him a new one. Considering there were only so many spare parts for the Gundams from Side 7, I imagine it's more so the former, making him go get them. I imagine there were many bright slaps.
I imagine, like, near the end, it was more of a Amuro slap than a bright slap. As he realizes he's done it again, he smacks his forehead.
Until he stops doing it altogether. But unfortunately, the damage is done, and the Amuro slap remains.
Hello, Internet! Welcome back to the cave. Vegas Bear here, as always, with Mick. Come on.
Eagerly awaiting the shipment of his Transformers Legacy Nemesis Prime.
And also an off-screen Bella. So, usually today, we'd be playing Super Robot Wars. However, two of our members have fucking vanished off the face of the earth.
Probably making out somewhere in the space between spaces.
Or some shit. I don't fucking know. So, instead, we're continuing Batman.
Think of it like this, Bear. I was gonna say, think of it like this. The more we get this game done, the closer we get to Arkham City and the best boss fight of the franchise.
Solomon Grundy?
Sorry, the popular fan vote boss fight. Mr. Freeze.
Right. Sorry. Solomon's my favorite boss fight. Alright, so last time we beat Ivy. And I do believe we're at endgame now. So, before we go...
Punching clowns.
Yes. Before we go...
I believe there's a YouTuber who made his name entirely out of punching clowns.
We are going to take care of a little problem known as the Riddler.
Yeah, Eddie's had it too good for too long.
I'm knocking him down a couple pegs.
when I eventually get to see the gameplay.
Fucking hell.
Funny enough, that Clown Puncher YouTuber I was talking about, his shtick is the Batman Arkham series. You know, another thing that's just kind of on my mind right now, there is a handful of games I want to see played on the stream, but we'd probably need a PS2 emulator for that.
I know one of them's a Scooby-Doo game.
The other is a childhood favorite of mine that I'd love to see you try to navigate. It's called RC Revenge Pro by Acclaim.
Oh, Lord.
It's a... Okay, so... How do I describe this? You're racing RC cars around a track. Each track is themed around, like, a specific type of movie or TV show. For instance, there's a horror world based around classic Universal horror.
Nice.
There's a monster world centered around kaiju movies. Then there's Hell, AKLM Studios, which is supposed to be generic cartoon world. There's an alien sci-fi world, and so on. As you're racing around the track, you will be collecting power-ups to knock opponents around the track to get, into the lead position and earn more points.
Okay.
There are some tracks where you're racing around with cars, others with RC boats, and the really special tracks that have these little portals you can navigate into to switch between car and boat as you navigate the track.
Okay.
I had a decent amount of fun with this game as a itty bitty Yaramon, so I figure why not. The one thing I will recommend is staying away from using bad RC with 2Ds. Bad. Its stats are not very... Its stats are underwhelming. You will have to fight harder to reach first place with that thing.
So the bad RC is bad. Got it.
Thankfully, you don't necessarily have to reach first place every time to earn points and keep the lead in the little tournament mode that they've got going, but it helps.
So I don't know if you read the Wayne Family Adventures from Webtoon.
I remember you telling me about them.
So Batman and Catwoman are maybe not not married, but like they might as well be. With how they interact with each other. Alfred continues to be the best surrogate grandfather gaming you could ever ask for. And also,
One would expect no less from Alfred.
a deadbeat dad has appeared.
Nani?
Take a wild guess out of all of Bruce's proteges that still have living parents. Guess who showed up?
I'm gonna say Tim's dad.
No.
Because I don't remember if his folks are alive or not.
I think they work for time. I think they were actually killed. I don't know.
Like my Batman lore game is not as strong as it used to be. I am a DCAU kind of Digimon, so
Clue Master.
oh goody.
Stephanie Brown's dad. That's what I said deadbeat. So he's shown back up. No idea why. Has something to do with Penguin. Who recently tried to take over Wayne Enterprises.
I'll hold my thoughts for her when you're done, but you reminded me of something with your mention of the Penguin.
Challenges? This can't be right.
He had attempted to use subterfuge in this bid for Wayne Tech. Basically using a villain with hypnotic powers to hypnotize a member
Oh, that's not familiar.
of the board and try to get him onto, Penguin's side. Get the board onto his side and also kick Lucius Fox out of the CEO position. Luckily, it didn't happen because, one, they were able to figure out they were able to figure things out with Hypnotic, and then Jason
Does your head
stole
hurt,
Penguin's
Batman?
money from him.
Understandable. You're no match for me.
With help from Selena, of course. Anyway, you were going to say?
So with your mention of the Penguin, I was reminded of a specific what if. That went something along the lines of, what if the Kingpin came to Gotham?
Mm-hmm.
How would Bruce, aka Batman, how would he deal with that? And the answer was, he'd have more trouble than you think. Imagine if Penguin actually had a positive public persona.
Yeah.
If there's anything I can give old Fisk, it's that he maintains that positive persona for a good reason.
He knows how to work a crowd.
And knowing to do that makes it a lot easier to get away with some of your more dubious shit. turns out one of Spider-Man's greatest annoyances ends up being a benefit to him here, in that, depending on the comic you're reading and the universe and just the time of year, everyone already hates him. So, Fisk is not untouchable to Spider-Man.
That is true.
Which then brings me back to one of the funniest things I've seen in a Spider-Man comic, and it goes back to the Ultimate Universe, the original one. That Peter goes and breaks into Wilson Fisk's tower, waits for him to return to his office, shows himself, pulls out a piece of paper, and starts reading fat jokes off of it.
Ah!
This ultimately ends up going horribly for Spidey, but it was honestly one of the strongest opening moves he could have possibly done.
Your move, fatty.
Fisk beat the tar out of him and unmasked him and threatened to use his identity to attack his family if they ever cross paths again.
So Fisk just put a target on his back.
He used this to negotiate a sort of ceasefire. Look, I don't want you pulling this shit on the regular. You clearly don't want me in that particular part of New York. We'll stay out of each other's way, for now. And we'll have no reason to cross each other.
How are you doing
This
this?
was 616 Spider-Man. He would already be threatening him with the webbing.
Unfortunately, this is a very early 1610 Spider-Man.
Unfortunately.
Because, like, the 616 Peter, he pulled that threat after years of dealing with Kingpin's shit. Like, I have to put this into perspective. At the time he made that threat, Aunt May had already been shot and was barely clinging to life. He'd been Spider-Man for decades by now.
And he still acts like a teenager.
He had a wife, potentially kids on the way, depending on how one looks at that last batch of twisting the knife Mephisto pulled. He had gone through so goddamn much.
I don't believe it.
He'd
How did you
been through so much with the Green Goblin. He'd
work that one out?
dealt with Harry as the Goblin. Sandman, the Sinister Six in multiple flavors. The Black Suit Saga. Carnage. Being hunted by multiple parties with a bounty on his head no less than 3 times.
Also, the whole Craven thing.
It becomes a shorthand whenever Peter digs out the cloth black suit. When that suit comes out, you know he ain't playing around anymore.
If that suit comes out, pray. I should imagine like a carjacker in New York, right? He's trying to like get into this one car, and then he just sees Black Suit Spider-Man swing by.
He parks the car and willingly goes to jail.
No, he's not even in the car. He's trying to get into it. He sees Black Suit Spider-Man swing by. He drops the tool and just walks away.
Because what I've just expressed with, that shorthand with the suit, New York itself learned that a long time ago. If your friendly neighborhood Spidey is pissed, you stay home.
If he's not joking, if he has the black suit, treat it like bad weather and just stay the fuck home.
You'll live longer. Because contrary to what people believe, Peter does and doesn't have a no-kill rule.
Every day I found the patients more distracting.
In that
Their insane mutterings
he's
and
not
constant
perfect
twitching
and has been
disgusted
known
me.
to be
There was
capable
only
of
one
breaking
way
this
to
rule
cure
if pushed
this
far
evil.
enough. He'll
Only
hate
one way
himself
to
for a very
purify
long
the
time
city
afterwards,
and ensure its
but
future.
he has
I
been known to
needed to
break this
prepare
rule.
myself. I needed to be ready.
Especially if the black suit's involved.
I love how in the Raimi movies, Spidey technically didn't kill any of his villains.
They all did themselves in.
Yes. Got.
Though, I would argue he did kill one. And this is a severe technicality. He didn't kill Eddie Brock, he technically didn't kill Venom, but he did kill the suit.
That is true. Alright, so we've taken care of everything on the surface. Now to go building the building. Oh, this is gonna be great. But yeah, like Norman did himself, and when he tried to skewer Peter. Doc Ock sacrificed himself.
Drowning his own creation in order to prevent New York from collapsing into a singularity.
And he threw a pumpkin bomb at the suit.
Which Eddie was himself trying to dive back into. So, would that count as an assisted self-delete on Eddie's part?
I'm gonna chalk it up to Eddie just being an idiot.
So, on that note, I'm going to put this out there. Sam Raimi went on record saying that he, at the time of making Spider-Man 3, didn't like Venom because he didn't see any humanity in the character, just a monster. Which, considering when you're making a comic book movie, directors only see like maybe 2 to 3, 5 at the most issues of a given comic as reference material. Depending on what issues were selected for Venom, of course you're not going to see much humanity because a lot of it is just kind of scattered around. This is how we got asking God to be your hitman. As hilarious as that is, because, like, while these are not excuses for Eddie, we do have to understand what he was actually experiencing at the time. And what he was experiencing was kind of awful. So, Eddie Brock's life is comprised of growing up under an abusive single father, having to work for any scrap of praise whatsoever, oftentimes trying to take shortcuts to get the positive results he needs because that's all he was taught by aforementioned bad dad. The shortest route possible to success.
I don't like having my time wasted. Someone doesn't pay.
This eventually starts biting him in the ass when he enters the real world and the workforce.
The police never found all the pieces.
They should have looked at the sewers.
Are you saying you've been there?
After a while. Usually takes about 8 hours.
In doing so, where do I begin? Oh yeah, the Sin Eater. So, that was a serial killer that was roaming Marvel for a time. He's responsible for the death of one Jean DeWolf.
That name sounds familiar.
She was a policewoman or detective or something that was helping Spider-Man at the time.
Ah, so Yuri before Yuri.
Yes. Yeah, the Sin Eater basically kills her, which led to Spider-Man chasing his ass around New York. Eddie was doing a story on this guy because he was, at the time, one of the biggest serial killers New York had ever seen. Friendly reminder that this is before this, the Venom suit shit. So, like, Carnage is not even a gleam in the suit's eyes yet. Well, Eddie Brock did manage to find someone who confessed to the crimes
But it wasn't the
and
same.
published about them. Correct. What Eddie had found and published as the actual Sin Eater, and thus got sent to death row in prison, was a compulsive confessionist. I believe that was how the wiki described him at the time. Dude basically confesses to any and all crimes he didn't commit for the attention.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Eddie believed him. And that ultimately was his fatal mistake. Because not long after her publishing about this guy, Spider-Man caught the real deal. Eddie was discredited, fired from the Bugle, and in his attempts to clear his name and get some degree of credibility back, he ended up driving away his wife. So now he's alone, obsessively trying to clear his name and get back at Spider-Man, working for just the worst of the worst when it comes to New York tabloids just to make rent. which is not doing his reputation any favors. As Spider-Man just seems to keep finding success after success, and Eddie just can't, ultimately, it becomes too much. We'll check back in with Spidey for just a moment as this part becomes important. He had gotten rid of the black suit once before through getting help from the Fantastic Four. Earlier this very day, as of the story's relevance, he had put on his classic red and blue suit only to find out that it was the black suit in disguise the whole time. It could disguise itself as other clothing. Naturally, it can make itself look like his red and blue suit. And as he is fighting it the entire time, trying to get it off and slowly driving himself towards a church, we cut back to Eddie Brock, who is going to that same church. And he's praying for forgiveness.
And I remember why, because you told me.
Eddie was a religious man.
Get him out of here. Now.
A God-fearing religious man who, at his core, could have been a good person under different circumstances, and, to his credit, has eventually found and made peace with the good man within. But that's decades away. Here, he's begging for forgiveness because, well, I do believe in certain Christian/Catholic religious viewpoints, suicide is a sin.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's why he's asking forgiveness. He was about to give up and leave the server.
The idea is that you're basically spitting in the face of the gift of life that God gave you.
He was a very, very broken man by the time he went to that church. And in a bizarre, roundabout way, Spidey going to that same church to take off the suit via the bells saved Eddie's life.
It also ended many other lives, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
Yeah. That's on Eddie.
There is a character in Invincible who I swear he is like this world's version of Eddie Brock mixed with J. Jonah Jameson, because he blames Invincible for everything, even though there's proof that he didn't do anything wrong.
One of those.
And he blames Invincible for everything bad that has happened to him. Him getting superpowers, blame it on Invincible. Him effectively killing his wife and child with his out-of-control powers, blame it on Invincible.
Some people just cannot comprehend taking responsibility for their own actions and thus find the nearest easily blamable thing.
That did lead to a very hilarious opening bit, which I think, like, Webb has mentioned it before, and she fucking hates it. I fucking love it.
I imagine largely for the same reasons.
So, the joke is that at the beginning of each episode, they find a way to say the word invincible, but they don't say the word, instead the title card
It's
pops
the
up.
Enigma Show.
During the episode with Powerplex, It keeps...
Let me guess. It keeps doing that whenever he mentions Invincible's name.
Yes.
Yeah, that is definitely a your mileage will vary kind of joke.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
And chances are, so did the staff working on the episode.
Okay, so there's a Riddler trophy here somewhere. I can't seem to find it. Nope. Please don't be in the toilet. Oh, thank God. Could be up there.
Now, to return to, you know, Eddie Brock's true self and what he actually feels. Like, they did treat the suit like it was an addiction of sorts for a good long time in the comics, at least from Eddie's perspective. It was a sense of freedom. He could do whatever, go wherever. It wasn't always the most fun of times because the suit had some very peculiar needs that he had to fuel however he could get his hands on it. Sometimes it was through tater tots and chocolate, sometimes it was through brains. But he needed to feed that addiction to effectively feel strong, feel powerful, feel in control of his life for once. But after multiple stints as the Lethal Protector, he began to realize, much to his own horror, I'm not happy. This isn't working. People are scared of me, and they have every right to be. Because keep in mind, while he was in that Lethal Protector phase, he was the dorkiest goofball to ever exist. It was something to behold. Like, if you've ever seen that clip of that image from the comics of him returning a lady's purse with a smile and being super polite in his speech, yeah, that is pretty accurate to what he was like. If you've seen the Venom movies by Sony, that is 90s Venom to a T. As far as, like, the goofy personality goes while the suit's on.
I love that. Oh shit! That is a red one!
Now, when Eddie eventually realizes this ain't working, it's more so the suit living its life through me than me actually gaining control of my own life, he decides, especially after discovering he'd had cancer, and apparently had cancer since before the church. The suit was just keeping it at bay. He ultimately decides, okay, I could keep the suit on, keep the cancer at bay, and just live effectively forever running from my responsibilities and my consequences. Or I can finally be a man for once and face what I've earned. He actually chose to face the consequences.
He like turned himself in.
He did. After taking the suit off and effectively selling it to the highest bidder to pay for her, effectively charity, trying to make repairs for what he'd been through, what he'd put others through. We'll get into where the suit went after that in due time, because it's another case of what was intended to be a kind gesture backfired.
As always.
But Eddie was serious about making amends. And the only reason he didn't go straight to jail is because of one Matt Murdock. It seems Peter at least offered one small favor to Eddie, as it was thanks to Mr. Murdoch that it was proven to the court that Eddie was, and I use this quote, not in control of his actions while under the influence of the symbiote. Therefore, he is not responsible for his actions as Venom.
Doesn't that kind of defeat the whole purpose of him taking responsibility?
Eddie was not too happy with this. So he decided, okay, if I'm a free man, what am I doing with that freedom? With the time he has left and his newfound freedom, he started volunteering at the homeless shelter, Feast. He figured he was going to spend the last days of his life seeing Venom every time he looks in the mirror.
Good.
If he's going to do anything good, even the smallest good, this would be the place to start.
Of course I am. He needs to pay for what he's done to you.
He ended up unwittingly working alongside Aunt May.
Come on, Doc. We got ourselves a basket here.
Don't output it. Say hello
Now,
to your new
I am not kidding when I say he saw Venom whenever he looked into the mirror. We actually get a glimpse into his perspective in the comics leading up to another major development in Eddie's life. And you do see it in broken glass in actual mirrors. In the reflections of a homeless man's sunglasses.
I had a
Venom's
sudden
face.
pang of conscience. I sought counsel from my priest on the choices
On some level,
I had
Eddie
made.
still views himself as such.
I asked him if it was a sin to kill in order to save a life. The holy man said
In
all
spite of
life
putting in
was
the effort to
sacred,
better
but
himself,
a judgment would not
he's
be
always
upon
going to have
my
that little
soul
bit of self-loathing and
if
fear
I
he's going
acted
to just
save
relapse.
another. I left the confessional with my soul
Now, the
uplifted,
sunglasses bits,
convinced more than ever
the
I am
homeless
doing
man
a
wearing them
service not only
was
to
a bit of an
mankind,
asshole, even by the admission
to
of the
God
other people in the
as
shelter.
well.
I believe they just called him Tom, no last name. He basically threw insults and the bowl of soup Eddie served him at Eddie, demanding better food. and Eddie snaps. It is unclear if Tom survives, but we never see him again, so I'm going to side on Eddie just kind of beat him to death without meaning to. And he panics, apologizing profusely as he runs away to lock himself in the bathroom and just kind of figure out what to do from there. No charges were pressed because, from the perspective of everyone else, and Eddie admits he can hear what they're saying, even if he doesn't quite believe it. Tom threw a tray at Eddie, attacked Eddie, self-defense. He doesn't believe it. Even so, somehow, he evades jail time again. Hilariously enough, because he built up enough goodwill at the shelter that people are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Including Aunt May.
Wow.
The person running the shelter was one Martin Lee.
Ah, yes.
As he tries to reassure both Eddie and Aunt May that this will be good for Eddie to work here, as seen in a flashback, we see that his powers react to the remains of the suit in Eddie's blood. Those suit remnants start bonding to his white blood cells. And I have to put a pause here to bring us to what the suit itself has been experiencing up to this point. The first person to wear this new suit was the son of the person who bought the suit from Eddie's auction. He was the son of a mob boss.
Oh boy.
Now, the suit was already angry for being rejected again. It's another level of hatred entirely for the suit to willingly abandon a host. This mob boss's son leaps from rooftop to rooftop trying to chase down Spider-Man, and the suit detaches from him and leaves him mid-air between buildings.
Fuck!
Yeah.
That's... Whoa. Whew. That's definitely a way to go.
I could give you all of the excuses for why the suit did this, but what's done is done. This character never got revived. The suit would go on to hop from host to host, trying to find something suitably stable and powerful for it to live off of. And eventually finds its way to one
It's the
Mac
Ian Nicholas
Gargan.
Show.
The suit hates him. I'm just gonna put this out there. The suit fucking hates him, but it stays with him because he's its most stable food source right now. I despise you, but you keep me fed.
No talking.
This leads us into the Dark Reign, which was this period of time where, after a big shakeup event in Marvel, Norman Osborn took over S.H.I.E.L.D. and renamed it Hammer.
Clever. I say with complete sarcasm.
He built his own Avengers out of a team of criminals who previously went by the moniker Thunderbolts.
Oh, God.
We're still in the Thunderbolt phase for what we actually have to go off of, so we'll get there. This Thunderbolts team consists of the Radioactive Man, Mac Gargan Venom, trying to remember if her name was like Songbird or something else, but like this like psychic chick who could project pink energy. And you might have heard of him. Some Daredevil character named Bullseye.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Well, recall how I mentioned Eddie getting the whole Mr. Negative treatment? Not long after Eddie discovered that his cancer was completely gone, he'd fully recovered. Which was itself shortly after the incident with Tom No Last Name. Eddie goes back to work trying to regain some semblance of normalcy, and for once he's got a positive enough feeling to combat the whole "oh god, I might have just killed a man" thing. Dude just learned he beat cancer. Anybody would be happy.
Eddie, didn't you beat a man to death? Don't ruin this for me, please.
Well, Venom breaks into the shelter having sensed its previous host.
Oh.
Gargan is going along with it because he wants to kill Eddie. The suit wants to go back to him. And the entire time, as Venom is tearing through the shelter looking for Eddie, and very rapidly finds him, Eddie is screaming, "I don't want to go back. I purged you. I was healing. I don't want to be Venom again. I want to be better."
I want to be me.
That's when the suit had attempted to rebond with him and recoiled.
Oh, yeah.
Not because he rejected it, but because a strange white symbiote-esque substance was now seeping out of his body. Hello, Anti-Venom. The difference between Eddie with the Venom suit and Eddie with the Anti-Venom suit is that Anti-Venom is not sentient. It is not its own separate being, it is an extension of Eddie.
So Eddie is...
He is in full control. He is in full control and he realizes it. You can even see it in the way he refers to himself with the suit on. He's not using any plural we's. He's saying I and me. And the first thing Eddie does as Anti-Venom is attempts to kill Gargan in the suit.
Well,
Largely to protect the people. It's not just to destroy them, mind you, he is trying to protect the people in the shelter.
makes sense.
Then Spider-Man gets involved, going, what the heck?
I leave.
Because he was already on his way to visit the shelter to see Aunt May in the first place.
I leave for 5 minutes. What the fuck has happened?
So, seeing a photo opportunity and thus, you know, I can make rent this month. Booyah! He webs his little camera thing with the little tracker lens to a nearby wall and muses, okay, while I deal with Salt and Pepper down there, I can get some pictures and actually pay rent. It's one of my favorite little quips, him calling them Salt and Pepper, which is why I decided to use it. Well, this will backfire on him in multiple ways. Because after beating Venom to within an inch of their life and Gargan being whisked away by the Thunderbolts, then he decides, well, now that I'm on the side of the Angels, I might as well help Spider-Man. Do you smell that? Your blood, it's irradiated. Let me clean that up.
Oh.
You've also got remnants of suit in you, so that's gotta go too.
Oh.
Well, he cleans up the remnants of symbiote in Pete's blood. But he also seriously damages Peter's powers. Pete manages to break free before they're completely gone, but now his powers weaken in proximity to Anti-Venom. What they do end up doing, however, much to my own amazement at the time when I was reading this as a teenager, they actually talk it out. Largely as they're both swinging back to Oscorp to get at Gargan. But, among other things, the Thunderbolts took Peter's camera.
Ah.
This is part of how things backfire on him. As it's not a, oh, they found out his identity thing. No, that'd be too simple. Plus, Norman already knows. No. No. What he actually ended up doing kind of pissed off Bullseye, because he used the tracking mechanism in the camera, which was following a locator chip in the spider logo on Peter's costume, to effectively create auto-aim projectiles.
What?
Guns that fire homing bullets that track the spider on Peter's costume. Just to have guns that will automatically shoot Spider-Man no matter where he goes or how acrobatic he gets. Bullseye was not happy with this. He's basically telling Osborn, bruh, you've already got a weapon like that. I'm standing right here. Osborn just tells him to shut up if he wants to get paid.
Dude, Osborn, the fuck? I never miss. I can count on one hand how many times, or I can count on two hands how many times you've missed. Like,
Yeah.
how to piss off Bullseye. I can tell you every single time you've missed a shot. Mr. makes every shot.
That's a very quick way to make him turn you into a notch on his kill count. But it will piss him off. You will ruin his day for a few minutes. That's about as long as you'll have left to live, but still.
If I can find a way to maneuver just enough so that he misses his target, like, he'll still hit me and probably kill me, but miss his intended target. I can just croak out my last words to him. You still missed. Bitch. And then I die. Alright, so we have cleared intensive treatment. Intensive treatment. Yeah. Of everything. Good on this building.
To return to my original point there, Eddie used his new lease on life as anti-venom to try to do as much good as possible, and in the process, he started mending his relationship with Spider-Man to the point where they actually started to become friends. Go figure. Be they bullies or arch nemesis, Peter has a habit of converting people who hate him into people who actually kind of like him.
Now, if only he could do that with the city as a whole.
I mean, he managed to convince Jameson. I'm sure it's possible.
You know what? That is fair! That is fair!
Fiddle diddle diddle,
Right.
answer my riddle.
Medical facility. Where was the medical facility? Over here. Okay.
And while the anti-venom thing didn't last as long as it probably should have, the character development sure did, because in the years since then, Eddie's been actively bettering himself. Whatever suit he happens to be wearing at the time.
I mean, last I heard, he became the new King in Black and stopped the symbiotes.
He might not be the most amazing father, but he's certainly better than his own dad, so I'll give him credit where it's due.
I mean, giving the symbiote to his son, do we mark that as a positive or a negative?
I don't know.
Because
And it's not like it matters, because at the moment, even Dylan doesn't have the suit anymore.
Safe interview 31.
yeah,
Patient's name is Edward Nigma. At this point in time, I've yet to decide if Mr. Nigma
As for the
is
suit
suitable
itself,
for the Titan process.
it underwent its own character arc and bettered itself.
Miserable. Next.
By all accounts,
And in a hilarious
after
way,
his assassination,
in a
once again,
bizarre,
I
roundabout,
believe
hilarious
his
way,
skills could
it's
explain
still
the
Spider-Man's fault.
Very well.
this is
My
always
father hated me. Always called me a
About
moron.
the suit making a better
I was
choice and
determined to
actually
prove it wrong,
be,
so I entered
improving.
a contest in school.
How so?
$1 prize to the kid who can figure out an almost
Because it did this
impossible
character
logic
development while bonded to one Eugene Flash Thompson.
problem. Was convinced I
Agent
cheated.
Venom.
He kept yelling,
Someone-
"You must have cheated. Admit
Someone
it, you
else who
moron, you
Peter
cheated."
gradually befriended and helped make a better person.
I watched in silence as he brought in the woman. Her skin now a venomous green. The wanton creature no longer looked like a human being.
Like, to the point where Flash
Much
was the
less
one most
woman.
vocally supportive
The
of Peter
Bible
getting
says,
married.
Suffer not a witch to live. Yet he has once again
Let that sink in.
delivered this female atrocity to our care.
Peter's high
Once I
school
have
bully
dealt with
saw
the
him
monster,
about to make the most
I think
important
it
step
will
of
be
his
time
life
to
and was
see
like,
if Greenwood
"Dude,
does in fact
I will push you up
burn."
there if I have to.
Riddle me this.
I will
It was kind of nice.
I will put on the suit and throw you down the lane if I have to.
Especially at a time when Peter's, friendship with Harry was deteriorating. Flash just walks right up there and goes, "You look like you need a bro." Peter and Flash remain good friends to this day.
Good to know.
I also kind of imagine that a lot of Peter's current newfound air quotes, a lot of the respect for Flash comes from not just the fact that he went from being one of the biggest assholes Peter knew to being basically a friggin' golden retriever, but also this man joined the army, went to war, and lost both his legs.
Sitting in the darkness outside of his cell.
And the instant he was
I
given
watched
power in
and
the form of a
praised
symbiote,
Twitchy.
his immediate first
Listen
impulse was
the
to use it for
disgusting
good.
words that came from his mouth. How can I let a dirty animal like this live? He is the cancer
You were saying?
I have
No,
sworn
I was
to protect the
just
city
like, oh.
from.
Damn.
Yeah. If memory serves, he lost both his legs to a landmine. Yeah. Kind of the duality of, knowing Peter Parker, I guess. You will become a better person, but you will experience hardship.
You will be a better person. Whether
If you don't become a supervillain.
yeah. You'll either become a supervillain or not.
But no matter what, you will experience hardship.
Yes, you will. Especially if your name is Mary Jane Blasey.
Ah, yes, the current Venom host. Yeah. I can thankfully say that the person who is who I hold the most responsible in universe for this is dead.
Paul's dead.
Paul's been dead for a while.
Woo!
Like, it is saying something when a new supervillain crawls out of the woodwork and the fandom almost unanimously unites in cheer for that supervillain killing off Paul.
Just imagine, like, Marvel editorial just being like, I don't get it. I thought everyone loved Paul. And one of the
And the people writing for Spider-Man just roll their eyes. Like, first off, the people writing for the Venom books clearly knew Paul's reputation and used Dylan Brock, Eddie's son, as a mouthpiece to trash talk Paul at every opportunity.
Oh, I love it.
And then the new supervillain comes out of the woodwork and kills him, and the fandom rejoices.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
But yeah, why do I hold him responsible for Mary Jane becoming Venom? Well, he's the one who built the belt that allowed MJ to become Jackpot. One of the... like, it's kind of like a slot machine, the way the belt works, where the results it rolls are the powers you get for a specific amount of time. He built it with an instant death roll.
Why?
Which he warned her about. I will grant him that.
Okay, but why?
But the question is, yeah, why? I don't know. Maybe it was unavoidable. I'd have to go back and do more research, but the fact that it was there... And the thing is, he knew precisely how you'd go if you rolled it. This was part of his warning. If you roll that instant death option, you will be disassembled at the molecular level.
Was this him trying to, like, gaslight her into not being a hero? Like, what the fuck?
Well, MJ rolled it. Her luck ran out, and she rolled the molecular disassembly. And the Venom suit at that time, the suit had also been very close to death. So it was an attempt to save both their lives that it bonded with her.
Kind of like an Ultraman situation.
If they separate, MJ's molecules go back to separating themselves. The suit is quite literally the glue holding MJ together right now.
Couldn't the Fantastic Four save her?
She never thought to try, evidently. I am damn certain Reed could save her if he had a chance. Then again, considering the results of the multiple run-ins the suit had with the Double F, I'm pretty I wouldn't be surprised if the suit was terrified of going back to the Baxter building.
I mean, fair.
And I will give them this. While stuck, bonded together, the suit and MJ have been calling each other out on their own choices and blunders with how they've been written over the years.
Paul? Seriously? Peter's gone for like a month and you move on that fucking quickly?
You joke, but like, due to the time dilation, Peter was gone for like a year in the dimension MJ and Paul were trapped in. Whereas for Peter, it was a heart-stopping, my blood is ice, I need to get back there, 24 hours of stealing the components he needed to get back there from other superheroes because he did not have time to explain. The Fantastic Four tried getting him to explain, Reed even suggests that Peter could have just asked to borrow the component if he'd tell them what's going on. Pete's in such a hurry that he tells them he can't explain, he doesn't have time, he's just gotta go.
Seriously.
Naturally,
A fucking year? She's waited
A year.
longer.
she has. This is another thing I choose to blame Marvel Editorial for, because she waited basically the entire time since One More Day ended. And I want you to keep this in mind. When Mephisto did that marriage erase / memory wipe, MJ threatened him into letting her keep the memory of the marriage. The writers appear to have forgotten, but MJ remembers the original timeline.
Which makes her decision to marry Paul that much more stupid.
Thankfully, they never actually got married. They were in a relationship, but they were not married proper.
Well, small blessings, I guess.
Plus, the children that they basically coupled up to protect were not actually kids. They were basically beacons for a different supervillain altogether to track them down and enter the 616 universe. So they ceased to exist within a few months. Which, considering MJ had a history of losing kids in the original timeline, you can see why this hurts.
44. Yet another interview with Edward Nigma. Yet to make up my mind with
It was quite literally her biggest fear when it came to starting a family. And a reasonable one at that.
You look tired. Anything you need my help with?
No, thank you, Edward. I'm here to help you.
Especially considering the end of the Clone Saga.
Forgive my arrogance, Doctor, but if you think I need your help, well, you're in the right place.
Let's look at it a different way. Throughout your career, you have specialized in
As far as current writing is concerned, MJ's biggest hang-up is refusing to let go of her hatred of Eddie Brock.
My games would be merely an amusing diversion.
Instead of death traps.
You really should be thanking me.
Her biggest gripes with the suit are that it still loves Eddie.
But don't worry. I'm sure you
Which-
would survive.
MJ blames Eddie for the trauma she endured basically just after the honeymoon she had with Peter. As if you recall, right after their honeymoon, as they're trying to set up a place to live, Venom found his way into her home and traumatized MJ.
I remember.
So her hatred of Eddie makes a degree of sense. And despite seeing the suit's memories of doing more good as Venom with Eddie and the, positive changes they've gone through, going out of their way to become better people, she's refusing to let go. Whereas a properly written MJ would see that and at least agree to give him a chance.
Marvel needs to get its shit together.
Right now, Marvel Editorial is comprised of people who prefer the Gwen Stacy ship over the MJ one, and cannot comprehend for the life of them why people enjoyed the Peter MJ marriage.
And I'm sure that's worked out wonderful for them. Let's see. They tried to bring Gwen Stacy back how many times? It turned out not to be Gwen Stacy.
Here's how stubborn they are about keeping the marriage broken up. There was a comic event that the writer in question wanted to use to undo One More Day. He was met with pushback every attempt, and so instead of undoing One More Day, he used what power he did still have to undo sins past.
Is that the one with the one that...
Where Gwen cheated on Peter? Yes.
And somehow had kids with Norman?
Yes.
Oh, thank God that's gone.
Yeah, that's gone, and the fans were happy to see that go. But learning that he was this writer was trying so hard to get rid of One More Day and just let Peter and MJ return to being happy together, because, like, there's a reason I blame editorial and not the writing staff for what happens to Peter in the modern comics. Editorial generally tends to have the final say. It's like blaming the director for a movie instead of the writer. The writer can write whatever script they want, but the director gets to choose what stays and goes. It's basically the same principle for editorial in a comic book. So, I will give the writers for Spider-Man credit where it's due. They understand something editorial does not. Adults who have spouses and children of their own enjoy Spider-Man just as much as they did when they were kids. Being married does not make Peter less relatable. If anything, it makes him more so.
Exactly.
Which is why the new Ultimate Universe was met with such glowing reception when it started.
You know who he is?
Peter had
I know what.
started that universe, married,
It's obvious.
with 2
The
kids,
mask, the weapons, the scare tactics.
basically
criminal.
husband and father,
The Joker and Two-Face. Or
and
myself.
the fans loved it.
Most people are idiots.
Now,
They can't see Batman.
the writing has,
Riddle me this.
well, some fans will insist that the writing got worse as the comic went on.
With
That
money stolen from the criminals,
the comic
he did
kind of
these.
fumbled in the later
Why did
half.
Gordon turn a blind
But
eye to his antics? Batman
generally, the reception was still positive to the point where the Ultimate books were outselling the main universe.
I know the real reason why they decided to end the Ultimate Comics,
Security!
but I feel like that had something to do with it.
I hear rumbles that there might be a continuation of that universe under a new title. But for now, I choose to believe that there will not be. Because I know that the editorial can be spiteful little shits.
Editorial needs to get that stick out of their ass.
Like, here's a little bit of where that comic left off. Wilson Fisk is still largely in power over New York, to the point where he's bullying around Norman Osborn.
That doesn't sound right.
Osborn is planning to turn the tables.
That makes more sense.
And the original suit that has the time-traveling Reed Richards, or was it a Tony Stark? It was one of the two.
It was Tony Stark.
Yeah, the time-traveling Tony Stark there that gave Peter his original suit for this timeline. Yeah, that suit, Peter's son is now using it and is working on becoming this universe's Venom.
I also heard he has a thing with that universe's Black Cat.
I wouldn't know. I haven't gotten that far. Like, I'm just talking about the stuff that was loud enough to hear in the echo chamber.
Fair enough.
It was kind of a cute moment, though, seeing, like, because it basically was the symbiote and thus could change its appearance at will. There's a sequence where Peter and his daughter are just trying to figure out what to make the suit look like to get across the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man vibe. Because, in the daughter's words, the all-black suit was too scary.
Like mother, like daughter, I guess.
Welcome to Arkham Asylum. Our staff are here to help you. When Amadeus Arkham built this fine institution, you would have believed it. Premier Psychiatric Evaluation and Rehabilitation Center it has become. Everyone knows the stories of the various so-called super criminals who've been treated here, but that is only half the story. Our low security wings offer normal but troubled individuals a safe haven for recovery. An extensive breakdown of Arkham.
It is kind of interesting to see the entire family basically being on the same page with Peter's secret identity.
What's up, Docs?
Fireworks. What's there to celebrate?
Normally I like fireworks, but, well...
Also, the fact that Peter was allowed to progress as a character and age a little bit, fans were happy with that.
Of course.
It also showed to me that Peter can absolutely rock the mustache-beard combo.
Oh, hell yes!
He looks like I'll grant fans this, he looks like Reed Richards with glasses, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
You will be transferred to Dr. Whistler's care next week.
Dude looks like...
How are you today?
Oh.
Mom, thank you. What a good move.
Dude
I'm
looks
always
like
in
a...
rare spirits when I'm about to be released.
You know you don't come up for parole for another 3 years. First
That
thing
is
I'll do
probably the best compliment he could have given him.
I'm only hoping
He
you'll
looks like
correct
Tony
me when you
Stark
trash the city.
if he was
Oh, well,
humble
I'm sure I'll find out
and
soon.
didn't come from money.
Have you been in contact with the Joker? He escaped Arkham weeks ago.
And yes,
So,
one
there is a variant cover for Ultimate Spider-Man that I gotta show you.
Oh, something about
Which I gotta preface
a
this with.
party
Are you
for
familiar
Batman.
with the Spider-Man No More comic cover?
Yeah,
Yes.
Edward,
I've seen so many variations of that
lies to
cover.
the insane. What did Joker say?
You forget,
Well,
Doctor.
here's my favorite variation.
Only half the story. Our look
This ain't Spider-Man No More, it's Laundry Day.
To everyone watching, Mekumon has just shown me a variant of the Spider-Man No More cover where Spider-Man's walking down an alley. Well, Peter is walking down an alley, and the Spider-Man costume is hanging outside a garbage can. In this variant, Peter is going to the laundry room, and the Spider-Man suit is hanging out of a hamper.
Close hamper. Said it's my favorite variant cover of that whole thing. There is another variant of that head cover that I can bring up, and it is an example of my least favorite variant of the Spider-Man No More image, because this one is just gruesome for gruesomeness' sake.
Let me guess, that's the Marvel Zombies.
Yes. Instead of the Spider-Man suit, it's Zombie Peter's ripped off skin. Ugh.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, he was essentially dedicating himself entirely to Spider-Man.
Yes. He was so... I don't even know what word to use here. He was so negatively affected by failing to save MJ a second time that he basically gave up on being Peter Parker.
Evaluation and rehabilitation center it has become. Everyone knows.
Given the circumstances of how he had that loss, though, he hadn't fully failed his loved ones yet, as Aunt May was still alive at the time in that universe. You may have lost one family member, but you still have the other ones. You know?
Or at www.arkhamcare.com/price. We accept most major HMOs.
Back to the covers I like. If there's anything I could give the Ultimate Spider-Man 2024 series, it's that they have some wholesome variant covers that just make me smile.
Curse me for a fool. How could I not see it until now? The monster had a confederate. I hid in the darkness near his cell and saw with my own eyes.
One thing I'll also give the Ultimate Universe for doing differently,
She looked at him through
right
the
after Barrett
transparent
finishes
barrier
what he was going to say.
I was just gonna say I got finding the last of the Joker.
Dare I say,
Yay.
desire. My skin
That's almost done.
crawled with revulsion as she kissed
Problem is
the
trying to find
glass, fighting the urge to dash the woman's head through the
Now,
glass.
Ultimate Spider-Man
and let her
2024,
continue.
one thing it did differently that I find
Damnable
interesting is
clown might have shared
it
secrets with
swapped
her
the
that
relative
would be
Peter
useful once the
managed
mad
to
dog
keep
has been
around.
executed. I'm sure the woman will reveal what
Since
she
he didn't
knows.
get bitten by the spider until much later,
If not willingly,
there was no mugger
then
incident with Uncle
certainly
Ben.
under electronic persuasion. After that,
Aunt May is the one who passes
a
first of
lobotomy,
natural causes.
I think. Unfortunate for
So
one
Peter's
so
got
young,
his family here,
but her lust
MJ and the kids,
has put the
and
reputation
Uncle Ben
of
is still
Arkham at
alive.
stake. Yes, a lobotomy. The very thing. There is no other way to ensure her silence in this regrettable matter.
That's not a dynamic you typically see.
And how we can help you. Did you know that the children's area on the site...
Usually because whenever a Spider-Man gets to see a universe where Uncle Ben is still alive, it's usually used for trauma points.
Yeah.
My mind goes back to who the Spider Carnage saga in the 90s series.
Aha!
Okay, Bear, I just posted a couple more of those comic covers. The last one is arguably my favorite of the bunch.
Alright, let me see here. Number 4. Oh, the spider set's going off because his family. I love that. Spider-Man and Spider-Venom?
Like, that is Richard Parker,
I'm just,
Peter's son, with the black suit.
I'm just trying to think, like, what's his... Is he just Venom, or is he, like, Spider-Venom? Spider-Boy?
I don't know. I'd have to double check. For now, I'm just gonna call him Venom until I get the proper information.
Face it, Tigress, you just hit the jackpot. Ah!
Peter turning that line back on MJ is so satisfying in a way I can't articulate.
That's great.
Welcome to Arkham Asylum.
Oh, you
Our
posted another
staff
one.
are here to help you. When Amadeus Arkham built
He
this
stepped on the
division,
toys.
You would have believed it could be the premier psychiatric evaluation.
Like I said, this comic has some of the most wholesome freaking alternate covers I've ever seen, and I am here for it.
That is only half the story. Our low security wings offer normal but troubled individuals a safe haven for recovery. An extensive breakdown of our costs and healthcare packages can be found at the front desk or at www.arkhamcare.com/prices. We accept most major HMOs.
That is
Our
adorable.
website contains everything you need to know about our facility and how we can help you. Did you know that the children's area on the site can provide you with a detailed but discreet psychiatric...
Alright, now that we've beaten the medical
There's a-
facility and the others,
You like riddles, Batman?
There's also a panel of
Your problem, offspring?
Pete in full costume swinging around with his daughter wearing a pair of goggles and a scarf, basically attached to his back with some webs,
We represent
just to give her the thrill of web swinging around the city. So, here's some trivia for you, since I'm on a Spider-Man kick as of late. We'll start this off with a trivia question. When did Peter in the 616 universe first meet Harry?
college?
You got it in one.
Because I remember,
They
like,
did not know.
like most of the, like, a lot of the Peter stuff happened. A lot of Peter's stuff happened, not necessarily in high school, but in college.
He was only in high school for somewhere between 1 to 2 years in his original comic run before they had him graduate and move on. An art of letting the character age and grow that Marvel has since forgotten. But, yes, you are correct. Peter met Harry in college as roommates. Granted, I am not opposed to them being friends from a younger age, meeting in, like, elementary school or sooner, and just kind of being friends in high school and so on, but, like, it is kind of weird seeing this. I'm so used to Harry being a part of Peter's life from the beginning of like, each respective show, that the idea of him meeting Harry later in his life is just kind of weird.
That's one thing that from Ultimate Spider-Man that kind of caught me off guard.
And, like, for being the nerdy type, Peter's had a lot of love interests.
the internet.
Well, I mean,
Tell me.
It's almost like those comics were ahead of their time in acknowledging that the nerd can get the girl too.
yeah.
But yeah, he met Harry in college. I believe he also met Gwen in college.
Mm-hmm.
He met MJ long after leaving college. No, wait, no, I take that back. I think he was still in college at the time. It's just that he kind of left and has been out of college in the comics for so long that I kind of forget that that was a phase of his life. It took me off guard to see that it's... Yeah, it was only in the freaking Superior Spider-Man arc did, air quotes, Peter finally go back to college and finish getting his doctorate.
And also got hit with plagiarism because of...
Yeah. Otto, you should have seen that coming. Some genius.
We both know Otto is not as smart as he likes to think.
See, there's a difference between intelligent and being smart. Otto is very intelligent, but he's not smart. I mean, even D&D character sheets get this right. Separating wisdom and intelligence into different stats. You could be hella book smart and have next to nothing in the realm of common sense. Likewise, you could be street smart but barely be able to read.
Patient interview 9. Dr. Crane continues to evade questions. I believe he is quite sane, just evil. He takes no interest in the people he has hurt. His research appears to be the only motivating factor in his life.
But, yeah. That is something to note.
Fear drives everything.
Whether you count this as being earned or not, modern-day Peter Parker is technically a doctor.
A product of that fear. Don't be ridiculous. You married your wife, Margaret.
He also owned a company for a time.
Alone. You have children because you're
One that Tony Stark tried to buy from him.
really matters. You go to the doctors because you're scared of dying. Do I need to go on? No. I think that will be all for today. Guards?
And go figure, Otto was better at running the company than Peter was.
Yeah.
I believe where the comics last left off in the main universe, last I checked in, there was someone else going around pretending to be Spider-Man in the absence of the genuine article. And there were people theorizing, and then we found out it was Norman Osborn.
Yeah, and that Peter apparently trusted him with this, which, why?
So that goes back to a different story arc where apparently you could just drain the evil out of Norman's soul and turn him into a good man.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's basically the current state of Norman Osborn. They drained all of the evil and vice and sin out of his soul, and now he's just a good man. Harry's dead, but
I mean,
Norman's a better man now.
No big surprise there.
Because also apparently we found out that Norman made a deal with Mephisto way, way back to basically gain success in all endeavors, or at least all endeavors that matter, at the expense of the soul of his firstborn son. So it would never matter what Harry did with his life, his soul was going to hell.
So, is that why Harry keeps dying every time he's brought back? Norman has...
Yes.
Oh my god!
Norman sold his soul before Harry was even born, so Mephisto's just trying to keep it.
So every time Harry's brought back by some mystical jargon, and like...
It's either a clone or Mephisto just comes to take it back.
And like Norman, like, I don't know, makes a sale or something for Oscorp. Harry just spontaneously dies?
I mean, that is the most hilarious way to put it, but that's effectively what happened. Oscorp getting as big as it was Oscorp getting as big as it has, basically too big to fail, is because of this deal.
Oscorp
keeping in mind all the shit Norman has done and all the crap Oscorp has been involved in, how else do you think they haven't been shut down?
That's fair, but I just imagine Oscorp built on the corpses of
a mountain of Harrys.
A mountain of Harrys. Like, it's like, hey Dad, I'm back. Oh, cool, son, I just sold something. Oh man. Ah.
Yeah.
It's dark as fuck, but still.
A lot of the Norman selling Harry's soul bit came from the Kindred arc, if you recall.
Oh.
Turns out the Harry we'd been following up to that point was a clone. The original one has been dead since the Green Goblin thing.
That's fucked.
And the thing is, if I had a nickel for every time Spider-Man has pulled a stunt like this that I have experienced, I'd have 2 nickels because the 90s cartoon and the shit it pulled with MJ would come to mind.
Oh. Fucking Hydra, man.
Because, spoilers for a cartoon that's about as old as we are. That's sobering.
Just twist the knife deeper, man. It's fine. Just twist it deeper.
The MJ that Peter married in that cartoon was a clone.
A Hydro clone.
One who eventually, after like a couple of seasons, destabilized and just poofed.
Well,
it's one of the most memeable no screams Chris Barnes has ever done as Peter came from.
It was less like she poofed and more like she just went splat.
Evaporated.
That too.
But yeah, like, when she died, like, to add to the 90s melodrama, she's pleading with Peter to find the real Mary Jane, because if any part of me is like her, then the real Mary Jane loves Peter Parker more than anyone else in the world. Cut to the comic continuation, where this actually turns out to be true.
Before the continuation, though, we had X-Men 97, which gave us closure that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
There's a shot of Peter and MJ together, meaning he found her.
at least we know Madam Web kept her word when we saw the final episode of that cartoon. After dealing with his spider carnage, Madam Web promised, all of your trials are over, so it's time for your reward. Let's go find Mary Jane. And the last shot of the episode is them basically flying through the space between dimensions in the multiverse to look for her.
And as we saw in X-Men 97, he found her. I love how, like, for the finale for X-Men 97 season 1, like, out of all the cameos that we got, that is the one that made people the happiest.
If I had a nickel for her every time a cameo in the X-Men cartoon yielded something new in the realm of the Spider-Man cartoon...
Another interview with Crane. I cannot say I am looking forward.
Hang on, let me just put this dime down.
I don't like to admit it.
Because, funny enough, Peter appeared very briefly as a blink-and-you-miss-it cameo in X-Men before his own show got greenlit.
It was your session, Doctor, but not anymore.
Are you okay, Doc? I think... Yes,
You see his arm spinning webs in response to a building crisis, and that's it. And then from that, his show got greenlit.
Help! I need help here! I can't breathe!
Like I said, you're all...
Decades later, he makes another cameo alongside MJ, and then the comic book continuation gets announced.
With
Now, granted,
not great art, I will admit.
Yeah, the artwork was... It leaves a lot to be desired.
I don't know who they hired.
The characters' faces are messed up in a lot of shots. They got Peter's build wrong. Because, like, in the 90s show, he actually had, like, a low-level bodybuilder kind of build. Because he was supposed to have been an experienced Spider-Man even at the time we started the show. So he's had time to build up the muscle mass from years of exercise as Spidey.
Yeah.
The actual answer for why he had that build was because it was a superhero show designed to sell toys, so he's got to be as toyetic as possible.
Of course.
Which means they needed a generic body type that could be easily repainted into other figures.
A la He-Man.
Even so.
Well, I mean, like, you look at the He-Man toys, they're all... like, they're all a set, like...
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, man. Like, even so, like... That build basically became part of the identifying traits of that Spider-Man. If we ever get another Spider-Man cartoon where he gets to be in college, or, you know, just an adult, I desperately want them to bring back Chris Barnes to reprise the role. He is a very, very iconic adult Peter.
Didn't they bring back a Spider-Man voice? No. Yeah, they did. They brought back a Spider-Man voice actor for, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
More than likely it was Josh Keaton.
Yeah, more than likely. He played, Peter's dad.
Okay, that doesn't sound like something they'd cast Keaton for, so I'm going to take a look.
Are you up to the challenge?
fuck?
Bless you.
Thank you.
Alright, there's the IMDb and checking on the cast.
Asylum one. My experiment is underway. Word to the bone, I have created my ultimate.
I'm looking for a Richard Parker, yeah?
I believe so, yes.
They're all over me! Daddy. Don't do it! Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I have pumped enough gas into the medical center to break 100 minds. You know, we'd be a matter of time. What? Give it up. Now. How are you still standing? How come it's not effective?
Oh, cool. They got Phil Lamar to play Mr. Lincoln.
What was it like? What have you seen? Officer Cash, get this formula to the air.
Travis Willingham.
You failed.
They got Charlie Cox to play Daredevil. Neat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually.
Robert Atkin Downs playing Doctor Strange.
How does that make you feel? Threatened?
Yep, Josh Keaton.
Humiliated? Scared?
Yeah, evidently in this universe, Peter's dad is not only alive, but also in prison.
Weirdly enough, that tracks. Because depending on the universe, he is either a spy for S.H.I.E.L.D. or a scientist who helped develop some form of medical technology breakthrough and was assassinated in the attempt to get the thing.
Okay, now we just gotta find the goddamn... gotta find the fucking Joker teeth. And I hate this part because... like, where could they possibly be?
So, as long as we're talking about, like, returning Spidey voice actors, I have to bring up the treasure trove that is Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. In that game, you were playing as 4 separate Spider-Men from 4 separate dimensions in the attempt to reclaim the fragments of the Tablet of Order and Chaos for Madam Web in order to basically stop reality from collapsing on itself.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And your main villain was Mysterio.
I remember this game.
I loved how they got different Spider-Man actors to come back to play each one. And who they ended up picking for each one was actually kind of inspired. So, first off, yes, they brought back Josh Keaton. They had him playing Ultimate Spidey, who is supposedly meant to be the same one from the Ultimate Spider-Man video game.
Interesting.
Which is why he recognizes the black suit and freaks out. The second Spidey that I'll bring up is one Dan Gilvezan, who voices Spider-Man 2099, who voiced Peter Parker's Spider-Man in one of the 2 80s cartoons. They were so similar that they even shared the majority of their intro. Basically, this would be what eventually led into Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. For those who are in the know for both the Spider-Man and the Transformers spheres, you might recognize the name Dan Gilvezan as the voice of Generation 1 Bumblebee.
Oh, fuck.
He's the one voicing Miguel O'Hara.
Huh.
That is arguably the only Spidey I've seen people complaining about the voice of because it just did not fit Miguel's personality. Next up in the quartet, we have Spider-Man Noir, voiced by Chris Barnes from the 90s cartoon. And his voice really fits Spidey Noir. But you know who else it also fit?
Who?
Miguel O'Hara in Edge of Time.
Ah. Because
Chris Barnes, if nothing else, knows how to make a Spider-Man sound angry.
Shocker!
Which, on the note of Edge of Time, they got Josh Keaton back to voice the amazing Spidey / 616 analog for that game. For me, playing it on the Wii at the time, it was music to my ears, hearing my two favorite Spider-Man voices at the time bouncing off each other. And yes, I played it on the Wii because at the time I did not have a PS3 or an Xbox 360.
That is fair.
If I can eventually track down a PS3 copy of both those games, I will be a very happy cat.
Now, if I can just find this last damn Joker teeth.
Speaking of the Amazing Spidey, I should probably finish off the quartet of Spider-Man from Shattered Dimensions. Now, give me a moment to actually drag up the Spider-Man show in question. Because this one's going to require a little bit of explanation. In 2003, there was a Spider-Man series that aired on MTV for an animation block.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It had a great intro song. And it is this Spider-Man's actor, one Neil Patrick Harris, who reprised the role for the main universe Spidey.
Good old Neil Patrick Harris. Well, I can't find the Joker teeth.
So, amusingly enough, about this MTV Spider-Man show, otherwise known as Spider-Man the New Animated Series, I will henceforth just call it MTV Spidey. You want to know what this cartoon was originally intended to be?
What?
This was basically Spider-Man 2 before Spider-Man 2 was a thing.
Huh?
this cartoon was meant to basically be the continuation of the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. With appropriately more mature topics to tackle for the audience that it was aimed at. Characters were allowed to swear a little bit more. They were able to acknowledge Harry having a drug addiction problem. And continuing the trend of Raimi-verse villains dying through no fault of Spidey's, we have two for you. Electro and the Lizard. Electro basically overcharged himself and blew himself out. And this Peter gave his all to try to save Dr. Connors and just couldn't manage it.
That's unfortunate.
The Blizzard formula basically burned out Connors. You can see why this eventually became its own universe instead of an extension of the Raimi-verse, especially after Spider-Man 2 actually launched.
Yeah. I was hoping if the Joker teeth would be anywhere, it'd be in this one.
Just watch, they're outside. It would be our luck. We'd think, oh, we're finally done with the outside of the asylum, only to have to go back out.
Well, it says the Arkham Mansion.
Hi, diddle
And
diddle.
I've only... Oh, shit. I've only destroyed 17 teeth. And we're at like 2 hours
So there's
now.
3 more.
So, we'll pick this up tomorrow.
Ready, ready.
I'll have a guide ready.
And I'll try to not spend so much time ignoring Batman in favor of the Spider.
Anyway.
It's just the thing. When I think of superheroes, and especially Batman, I think of the Spider-Man crossover, and my brain just kind of goes.
It's okay, man. So, thank you all for watching. This has been Vegas Bear 92.
With Meikumon.
And a very sleepy Bella.
Still wondering where the other two are.
Solving my challenges. Do you admit I am smarter than a bat?
Yeah, seriously, where the fuck? I tagged the stream team.
I think they might have seen my message from last night, which I failed to update, and decided to just bow out.
Well, either way. Thank you all for watching. This has been... I already said that. Fuck.
You know the drill. If you like what we do here, please feel free to support us in any way you wish, be it monetarily or through engagement. Every little bit helps.
And as always, stay safe, stay comfy, stay hydrated, stay healthy, be good to each other.
Be the people Mr. Rogers knew we could be.
It's the Enigma
And
Show!
we'll see you tomorrow with more Batman as I try to figure out where these last 3 teeth are.
Like, seriously, people, pray for us. This is the last of a collectible, and this is the last thing standing between us and the end of the game, and by extension, the fan favorite of the series, Arkham City.
Well, there's a little bit more, but yeah, pretty much. So we got... Okay, so we've done intensive treatment. We've done the medical facility. We've done the caves. We've done Arkham Island West, East, and North. So that
There was another thing with teeth.
So that just leaves Arkham Mansion, the Penitentiary, and the Botanical Gardens.
There it is.
Yep. And it's only one set of teeth, so
Yeah, this is gonna hurt.
yeah, pray for us, folks. Peace.